Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
60% of the time, it works every time.
That doesn't make sense.
This is Sparta!
It's the Al Travis Show, and our next guest is Senator Aric Putnam. Love having him on the program. Senator, how are you?
I'm all right, my friend. How about yourself?
I'm not good. I literally know I'm probably not doing the job I'm supposed to be doing today as a talk radio guy, but I'm in no mood for it. Now, again, I don't rip out the paper today. Walz's numbers are down amongst Republicans. I couldn't get myself to read the whole thing. I'm like, oh, good God, who cares right now? None of this is going to matter, 18 months from now. And the Hortmans haven't been put to rest yet. You know what I'm saying? And I swear it might be because where I'm going through with my dad and we bury him on Sunday. I don't know if that's why it's at, but I don't want to talk about that stuff. Horrible, bad host. Am I wrong here? Can we not give a crap about Walz's approval ratings? I don't know, maybe another week and a half. Then we'll get there. What's the right amount of time?
Well, there's a lot of stuff going on there, man.
Yeah, I got emotional baggage. I'm sorry, friend. Help me, Bill.
No, it's good. So this is a thing that you might think this is weird, but this is a thing I do in class sometimes. Do you remember when Mike Myers and Kanye West were talking after Katrina?
Yes.
Kanye went crazy. Now, to be clear, I am not comparing you with Kanye in any way, shape, or form.
And he might have been crazier before then.
But you look a lot alike, and sometimes
Well, you should hear me rap.
But you know what I'd say in class is I show that, and you get Mike Myers who's reading from a script, and you get Kanye who's like honest and actually feeling something in the moment. And everyone freaked out on Kanye. Said, "Oh, how could you be? How could you be an actual human?" Sure, he was wrong and crazy, but that's not the point. He was a real human being, and everyone's like, "Well, how could you possibly be a human being in a moment like this?" I think that's crap. So I applaud you, sir. I do.
Well, if it's being a human being, I don't know what the right amount of time is, but for me in this show right now, it's not now. I don't, a lot of stuff, and again, on some of this stuff, whether we're going to get more security at the Capitol, yada, yada, great. We're going to have this conversation. But, sir, y'all aren't going back for another 8 months. Can we get past the funeral before that becomes the headline? I mean, I'm sorry telling other people how to do their jobs. Every producer, every owner of the radio stations that I'm on, like, Al, we'd like a little something saucier than you wallowing in pity. I get it, but it's just where I'm at. I'm not there. Because here's the thing.
Two things. One, I totally agree with you. I was interviewed by the Strip yesterday about security measures and how things are going to change. And my take was like, this has always been a crazy job. Like, this is a horrible moment that has no immediate bearing on my sense of safety. It's just a horrible moment. So, like for me, it hasn't really changed my sense of safety at all, because it's never been super safe. But it's a separate event for me. The loss of life, and I got a text from John a couple of days ago. He's got a long way to go, man. And those are way more important to me.
Oh. And I don't want to get way down that road. John sent me one as well, so ha to you. But mine was thank you for Al. I didn't realize the FBI had his phone for the last week and a half. I'm like, stupid Al. I guess I just don't know how these things go, but that makes some sense. But he was kind enough. But it hasn't been back and forth. He's obviously got a lot of healing to do. This probably sounds bad. I hope at some point we can find out what all happened and what he is actually going through. I don't know. I imagine getting shot 9 times. I can't point at 9 spots in my body where it doesn't look like terminal. I mean, I don't know how that happens, and I don't know how bad it is, quite frankly. He's able to text to me and you, but he's still in intensive care. I worry. I want to know how close this is, and is he going to get back to 100%? I mean, will he be able to golf? He probably won't run track or something. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I want to find out what his limits are. I don't know if it's any of my business, but that's what I worry about right now.
That's the other part of it too. We're talking about supposed to be doing our job and talking about politics and the horse race and all those kinds of things. But there is that other sense of John's, like people's privacy too. Like it's a public issue because they're public figures, but their privacy is just important. And it's not something we're talking about much either. We're talking about safety, but not about privacy.
Yeah, and I think we need to get in that. The other humanization, I don't know if you've been here since then. No, because it came up with Senator Kent last week. I'm babbling on as I like to do because I'm not talking politics. And I'm with Senator Kent, and we're talking about how this can happen. And when you're on Hoffman's a card. No problem getting Hoffman to talk about his life. If you ask him a question he didn't like, all of a sudden you're talking about Prince or some band he drummed for. I mean, you knew who John was. We smoked cigars. I love the cat. Senator Housley's another one. She comes on and, oh, good God, she made me watch, what is that, geriatric, the sex show on TV, Love Island or whatever with the old folks.
Oh.
It was on, I can't remember the name of the show. God, The Golden Bachelor. She made me watch The Golden Bachelor because that was a show she liked. And so some people in your line, I'll give you another one, are willing to share, right? Just, hey, I'm a human. Most of you don't. And I think I'm blaming the politicians. Most of the people I have in the show, I can ask a question and they'll give me the senator's answer or the representative's answer. And it's not natural. I mean, I get talking on the radio maybe isn't natural, but I think some of that falls on you guys. And here's what I mean by that. I think it would be much harder to have shot Hortman if you knew she trained dogs, service dogs, and then she was so good at it, her dog didn't even pass the class because it was too happy a dog, so she took the darn dog and she kept it as her own. When you start seeing that, I think it would, this guy's still a nut job, I'm saying it, but it's got to be harder if we know your people and our neighbors and the people we voted to go to vote for us, right? We lost some of that. Right now it's 37, 30, 34, 34, 67. Oh, went down party lines. That side sucks. Maybe that side's got a dog that they took from the kennel because they couldn't train it well. You know, maybe there's more to you people than what you're putting out there. Is that fair?
You know, you had me until that last sentence because some of us there isn't. You know,
well, you're gonna find no. See, this is where I've changed. This is what I want you to know. I don't know if you were ever on my cable show.
I don't think so.
Okay, so back in the day, we started with 11 rapid-fire questions. All honesty, which we're being here today, I created that because, first off, I was scared to death doing a half an hour of cable, and how will I feel, and can I just talk politics and not be bored out of my gourd? So we came up with 11 rapid-fire questions. You had to answer them as quick as possible, and then we moved on. Filled a little time. I enjoyed that part of the show, and I thought about it. That's what we're missing. I can ask you all day long about this, that, and the other thing, and you can give me the political answer. If I start every one of these with one rapid-fire question, at least by the time you're done in a year, we'll know more about you. You ready to play the game? I'm doing this with everybody. Every senator and rep comes on now. We don't start with the big stuff. I guess it's really big. Maybe we would, but no. For the most part, we're going to start with one of the rapid-fire questions. Are you ready to play my game?
What do I get if I win?
You don't get to win. It's just I'll laugh at you if you're wrong, but I won't.
Is there like a home version of the game that I could be sent home with or something like that?
I should make cards. This should be a great party game.
All right, since it's just me and you here and no one's listening, there's a little bit of more self-disclosure since that's the theme anyway. I always wanted to be a game show host. I always thought that would be the funnest job.
I think fun, and you make a lot of money. Who's the guy with this? They spin the letters, Wheel of Fortune.
Oh, Pat Sajak. He's got a great job.
Did that for forever. Made huge money, and he didn't come up with the questions, and he acted all smart as heck. Yeah, well, you had the answer. Yeah, show host might be the greatest gig of all.
Especially in like 1979. That's what I'm going to do. I want to do it in 1979.
Oh, tic-tac-toe, and you could be racy and saucy. Okay. Oh, now we went to, okay, well, I'll give you, now, because, okay, coming back after the break, this will be the tease. We'll hit up none other than Senator Aric Putnam with his first rapid-fire question right after this.
If it's your turn to host a game, Grandpa's Barbecue suggests you try something different. Put out the perfect barbecue flavor of Grandpa's Barbecue. Add it to your ribs, dip the meatballs, or drench your wings in the original flavor of Grandpa's Barbecue. It isn't too hot or spicy, fruity or smoky or whatever. Grandpa's Barbecue. Available in select stores and online at grandpasbarbecueshop.com.
Do you have a closet full of old videos, photos, slides, or films? Regain that space and preserve those memories for future generations. Visit archivinglifemedia.com or call 952-829-8018. See how safe and simple it is to digitize all your media. Gain peace of mind knowing that all those important memories will be saved and can be seen and shared again. Do it today. Check out archivinglifemedia.com or give them a call, 952-829-8018.
The Al Travis Show, the last place you can go and hear all sides. Respectful, thoughtful, and grateful.
Now we've got him, Senator Aric Putnam, not talking anything too political today. Senator, your rapid fire question is this. One place you always wanted to see and why? Are you a traveler?
I am, yeah. I have been. Now I'm old, but I used to be.
And when you say traveler, mostly U.S., you did a little abroad stuff. You look like one of those guys that did like a whole Europe thing. Probably the backpack. You did?
Wow.
So cliche, my friend. Really?
I know. When the funniest thing about that is when you're a young dude, you're like, I want to do something that's so individual and just about me, and that's what I did.
Got my up north backpack and whatnot. All right. So where's some place you want to see yet?
So I know this is supposed to be rapid fire, but here's the thing: you have to do that math here between some place you've been before that was awesome.
Oh, there you go.
Some place you've never been, and that's kind of a challenge. So
well, you think about it. Go ahead. If you got one, I want to hear it. Go ahead.
So when I was backpacking, I actually did it pretty severely. I did some hitchhiking, and I was gone for about a year. And
but you could do that back in our day. People hitchhiked. It wasn't a bad thing. It wasn't frowned upon.
Exactly. But the place that I went to that is still interesting, but I'd want to see again is Jerusalem. I ended up in Jerusalem for a while. That was like the end of my backpacking hitchhiking event, was to land in Jerusalem.
See, I would absolutely love to go to Israel someday. Now I just don't know politically it's right. Egypt is another one. Those are just two places that I'd absolutely get. The problem is the plane. My wife wants to go. Have you been to Hawaii? Wife wants to go to Hawaii, but it's like a 9-hour tube ride, and I'm just like, don't know. I wouldn't be bedtime for Bonzo by the time I got there. I don't know that I could do that, and it's even longer. I like getting places. I don't like getting to places.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of flying. And it's a crazy thing. Once I had kids, I got less interested in flying. Like it started to freak me out a little bit more. But my wife's in China right now.
Really?
It was a 14-hour flight to Seoul, and then 3 more hours to where she was in China. It was 17 hours of flying. That was pretty rough.
I don't know
This is when you
why
ask
she's
if she's stealing secrets or something like that.
Well, no, again, we're not getting political. I just can't even imagine 17 hours in a tube. What is she doing in China? Just visiting? I mean, that is a fascinating place. Don't get me wrong. I'm not ripping it, but it's not on my bucket list. I think Israel would be fantastic.
Have I mentioned it before that she's superintendent of the year? I don't know if I brought that up before. Maybe
Has she given up the crown yet? There's a big pageant. Has it been a year? You have bring it up. When does she give up that crown?
She still has to do the state fair tours.
Okay.
This is the county fair tours this summer. No, so she's trying to she's with Department of Ed. She's trying to create better relationships for Chinese immersion programs and to get it's really hard to get teachers here to teach Chinese immersion
This
programs.
wasn't on the front page of the Star Trib. Might have been like page 13B, but is there some rumor that she has lost the sash for the teacher of the year, that has been found and she didn't take care of it? Is there something to that?
No, it's the tiara that was the issue. She's not quite sure if it's authentic. I think the tiara was made in China. That's the latest scandal.
And I also believe I've read, and this could be AI generated because there was a picture along with it, you and her drinking out of the superintendent cup at some local establishment. Is that all true? I mean, has it been dented?
It would be, but I'm AI. I am myself AI. So
do you worry about AI?
I couldn't get scabies or whatever from the chalice.
That is funny. Do you as a professor hate AI and the thought of it? The ability to catch people if they're cheating?
Here's the thing. This is going to get kind of weird, but you used the P word, so I'm gonna roll that way for a second.
Okay.
That it's a tool, but it's a tool that's already changed us in huge ways. So if I hate it or I don't, it doesn't really matter. It's like air or water now. It's kind of like the.
But are you able to tell kids no, ixnay, no? You write it down on a piece of paper yourself, or I'm flunking you?
I do a little bit of that. See, that's the thing.
Do you see it rough?
I think that people are. I can do it in college because I have fewer classes and fewer students. But like if the prof works hard and comes up with good assignments, you're kind of okay. So you don't have to worry about the cheating stuff quite so much. No. So yeah, I do have people.
Do you use AI to find out if they used AI? Evidently, I found some professor was running through AI, and then AI says, "Hey, that's been used by 16 other people across the country." They're not. Do you use AI to get the AI kids? Oh, I love this super secret stuff.
No, for me, it's so much easier because you read an essay and you're like, well, this looks like it was written by a really, really, articulate, eloquent person. And then I will make a point of asking that person the question in class the next day. And when they don't know what a verb is, or when the drool gets in the way of their answer, in the back of my head, I'm like, I could prosecute, but I'm not. I'm just going to make fun of you for the rest of the semester.
Turn their baseball cap back around to the front before they give you that. That is too funny.
So I lean into hazing because that's a lot easier than like actually prosecuting someone for cheating. It's easier to just sort of mess with them enough so that they feel bad enough and they don't do it again. That's my plan.
That is fantastic. All right, just because we need to. This Friday, the Hortmans will be, what do you call it at the Capitol? In state, lying in state at the Capitol. I believe the number is noon to 5 for the public. I don't know how that works after that. And then she has a family private thing on Saturday. I don't know because it wasn't written well enough. Is the family private thing also at the Capitol, or is that going to be, do you know that? I don't, when they just read it, it's got a private thing on Saturday. I don't care if they use the Capitol. Go stick with it. I don't care. It's not my point. But it didn't enunciate that very well. I don't know the answer.
I know that there's a private-ish funeral sort of thing for legislators and government people.
Yeah.
To be honest, I haven't been tracking those things very much.
Okay. Okay. That's fair.
Funeral dude. Do you know what I mean?
Not good times. I'll give you that. I appreciate you, my friend. I thank you for playing our little game. We're going to do it some more. I presume by next week I'll be in a mood and we'll have to get talking about everybody's, poll numbers and other crap. But I appreciate hanging with me for this one.
Anytime, my friend. Anytime, indeed.
He's Senator Aric Putnam on the Al Travis Show.